வந்தாயோ எதை தேடி விட்டு போனாளோ. Hi, this is Suchitra and welcome to Museek Mag. I was born in Chennai, but I grew up in Kerala. My dad used to work in Trivandrum and for a while in Ernakulam as well. So I grew up in Kerala in large lonely houses with hardly any neighbors. I used to play alone in the backyard and build my own little houses and do my own things. So I think a lot of people may not know this, but I'm quite introverted by nature. I think Mr. Selvakumar knows it. I've been the shyest person that he's had to work with in front of the camera, and I think that came from a childhood in a state, or rather a place which was full of greenery and hardly any people, and I had to be by myself and do my own thing. Well, a little music got into my life a little bit in school. I studied in Bharati Vidya Bhavan, and there were a lot of competitions at that point for patriotic songs and things that children are encouraged to sing. So I used to be sent by my teachers to a lot of group singing competitions because I used to literally volume-wise be able to out-sing everybody else. So that's where the interest in music started. But really, what got me inextricably drawn to music was the album Thriller that my dad bought for me. When I was a kid, it was a small cassette. I have a feeling it was a duplicate cassette because I know how the cassette inside jacket looks, and it was, I think, a photocopied paper. But my goodness, I played that tape to death, and I think that really got me into music. No formal education in music whatsoever. I'm attempting to learn the guitar now, so let's see how that goes. I came to Chennai after I finished my post-graduation to start working. I started working in this advertising agency called Ogilvy and Mather. And then I moved on to Sifi.com for a bit in an editorial position, and then I moved to Radio Mirchi. So this entire career path happened in Chennai for me. Oh, a complete thanks to, and I mean, there's really nobody else I should thank other than Mr. Timothy Madhukar. Timmy, as we like to call him, and he likes to be called. I don't remember who introduced. I think I met Keith Uncle, Jim, Satya, Timmy, all of them, Sagar Desai, all of them at about the same time when they were doing a lot of cover shows in the city, and I joined them on a couple of cover shows. And I think at some point Timmy considered it worthy enough to recommend me to Mr. Haris Jayaraj, and I sang a couple of jingles for him. It wasn't technically a song, but the first bit that I sang for a movie was for Kaka Kaka in the song Uire Nuire, and Timmy was the one who introduced me to Mr. Harris, and I got that opportunity. Oh Mahazia Wahiala Wahiala Zinya Mehsaya. Oh Mahazia Wahiala Wahiala Zinya Mehsaya. I did a fair amount of work for Yuvan around that time. And I also started doing work for Vidyasagar sir. But the place that really sort of adopted me and took me over was Mani Sharma sir's studio. Mr. Mani Sharma almost became like a mentor for me as far as film music was concerned, because I didn't really know the nuances of film music. I had only grown up singing Western or group songs in my school, but not really songs which required a certain amount of expression for the character that is going to enact the song on screen. So he's the one who taught me that culture. So I'm greatly indebted to him for that. And subsequently, I did end up singing for most composers, with the exception of Raja sir, I guess. And thus it continues till today. I would say Dole Dole from Pokiri. There were two songs in Pokiri. There was in Telugu, there was Ipati Kinka, and then there was Dole Dole in Telugu. And I did, I mean, it's very rare that you sense that while you're singing that song, because everybody, any song you go and record, everybody tells, oh, adutha hit idu da. So sometimes your judgment itself gets a little blurred about it. So most of the time I just give my 200% to the song when I'm recording it, and then I literally divorce it and I leave the studio. But this song sort of stayed with me when I sang Dole Dole, and I knew there was something about it because there was this really nice drum and bass vibe to it, and it didn't sound like other songs. And whether it was going to be a big hit or not, I knew it would get some sort of cult response, and it did. So I would still consider that one of the most important songs of my career. Oh yeah, excuse me, Mr. Kandasamy. That was fun. We literally enacted that song. I would say I acted that song out in the studio when I sang it, because we were laughing, we were goofing around, and we were having such a good time. And I think that energy really reflects in the song. In fact, in some of the interludes, parts where I got the lyrics wrong, I literally got it wrong because sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. So that life. Vandasami, Chinondasami, I literally made that mistake when I was singing that song, and I think everybody was tripping that day. So like, no, we are going to keep this take. Go for it. Hey, excuse me, Mr. Kandasamy, or a coffee, kuripo, come with me. Hot or cold, nee tottu paare. Hey, excuse me, Mr. Kandasamy, or a long drive, Pola, come with me. Slow or speed, nee oti paare. Chords are all wrong. I'm sorry to all the people who are listening and they're like wincing. Oh, it's okay. I'm having fun. But now it's just mostly music. I've started writing my own songs. I've been having great fun doing that. So after I finish my entire day's work, I take my entire setup, which is my laptop and my headphones and my guitar and my metronome and everything, to the living room, and I sort of set up station there, and I'm just singing and playing and writing till 4 a.m. So I'm really, really enjoying that space where I have no pressure to have to deliver anything anytime. So it's not like I'm writing music in order to release another single or to release an album or anything. There's really no fixed agenda, which makes me enjoy it all the more. The process is beautiful. So I'm really enjoying that, and I am learning the guitar slowly but steadily, and I sometimes just play for hours and then, oh, okay, my hands might bleed very soon if I don't stop. So that's great. It's a really great space to be in right now, other than playback singing and gigs. So gigs also has taken a completely different color, and now a lot of people are seeing the sense and the beauty in having a live band on stage as opposed to minus ones. So that's fantastic. It's a great time for singers and musicians to be in and to push the whole band concept a little more. So I do work with a lot of very, very talented musicians, and I look forward to that a lot these days, because there's so much you can learn from them just by observing how they go about their art. Oh, so I truly believe a song has its own destiny. I don't prefix when I sit down and say, I don't even prefix that I'm going to write a song. If it comes to me, it comes to me. Sometimes there are nights that go by that I'm just playing a progression for hours and nothing comes to me. So that's also fine. But most of the time what I've realized is when a song does happen, it sort of chooses its own language. So even while I'm humming it, while I'm playing the guitar, it's sort of, the words start forming in a particular language, and I don't really push it or try and tweak it. I allow it to take its own path. And then, like last night I was just playing, and I don't know, the words Kanmani kept coming to me while I was singing the song. So I knew sort of that it's meant to take a path where the language is likely to be Tamil. So it's the whole process is very organic. It doesn't really stick to one particular. I sit with my air most of the time when I'm moving. There is a little, not a studio, but there is an iMac which has the larger mother Logic. But on the air, it's just GarageBand, and I also have a 9.7-inch iPad Pro, on which I've got the Logic remote. So even if I can't really play the keyboard, I can just use Logic remote, and it's got the chord bunches and everything ready for every scale, so I can just play around. It's great fun now. You don't have to really know to play the keyboard to compose. Not yet. I'm very, very slow. So if I discover something, I normally play with it for 6 to 7 months before I move to something else. I can't parallel process stuff. I'm quite dumb that way. I have an Apogee duet, but I need to upgrade because My firewire port is not working. I'm literally singing into the iMac when I need to record my voice. It's terrible. I know. I need to do something about that. I don't know what's gonna happen. 3 minutes later, I might walk out and a car might run over, run me over. So I've actually stopped thinking about what's gonna happen 1 year from now or 5 years from now or anything. If I'm around and alive, I would like to. I am working on a project with a very, very young, talented guitarist, and we don't know. We're literally creating a new kind of a sound architecture sort of a show. So it's more of a musical, conceptual show rather than a band. And I think it's. I have connected with a few people in LA and some people in other parts of the world. So if that does take off, then it will take off in the next 1 year. But I'm taking it really slow. I'm in no hurry. I'm just letting it happen when it happens, and let's see how it goes.